What is wrong with the knife? If that knife was used for murdering someone, what is the fault of this knife? For example, phones. Right? To me, this digital platform is a blessing as well as a curse. There was a time in my village prior to 1980s where there were no TVs. Right? What used to happen then? People in the evening will come together, have some bhajan, kirtan, they will sing, they will have a drama, they will have all sorts of things together. They will cook together sometimes, they will eat together sometimes. Now that has become a dream. Even within a house, brother is not able to see brother because they are so busy. Not only, in each bedroom they will have their own TV. Children will demand their own TV, their own privacy. Today, children are more in danger in their own house than on the street. Surfing takes them to uncharted, dangerous territories they don't know. It might feel very enjoyable in the beginning, but it catches them, see. And now, what happens to a child's brain? If you see a child's brain under EEG while watching TV or cartoons, or these youngsters surfing, playing games, the frontal part of the brain doesn't react much. And this is the part of the brain which we utilize in thinking. Thinking is now relegated. It doesn't work. So once you are playing this solitaire game or some other game, what happens there? It goes on, your mind is not being utilized there, see. You are moving with the characters of the cartoons or characters in the movie. I challenge many youngsters today that you look at the Google News, you go through them. And I ask them, what was the first news you read? No one can tell me. They don't even understand the dangers of it because they don't want to know it. You see, what happened, I tell you one joke. One person was drinking very heavily. And one newspaper came up with like you guys, single page, the side effects and the dangers of drinking alcohol. So, wife was very happy. At least now my husband will read this page and will benefit from it. The husband quickly glances through it and then assures his wife, "Kal se band kar denge. I'll stop it from tomorrow." Right? And what he does, he stops the newspaper. I don't want this newspaper to come to my house. That's what we are doing. See, they know the side effects of digital media. They can't control themselves. I will not visit such sites which tells me that digital platform is bad. I'm not saying digital platform is bad. Moderate use for your knowledge, for your information is good enough. More than that is abuse. Greeks, many people don't understand how and why they disappeared from this planet. Great Greek civilization. There was a fancy or a fashion for eating in shiny stuff, shiny vessels. Those days, those shiny vessels were coated with lead. And it is this lead poisoning that destroyed the whole population. Very simple thing. Today's youth will pay the big price. Why blame youth? Everybody, whoever is abusing this media, phones, it has become your kidney kind of an organ or lung kind of an organ without which you cannot live. Even when you are going to sleep, they put it under the pillow. What for? See, I was visiting one of our satsangis. He has a very hi-fi scientific lab. He was interested in studying my blood sample and trying to find out what they can do and intervene I said, nothing is wrong with me. But they said, no, we want to study your blood pattern. I said, okay, let's. And they put me through various tests, which are not normal these days. There are some Russian technologies involved in it, and very, very high-end, I say. It's a futuristic thing. And then one small thing they were doing, which is common, to take a blood sample and study the red blood cells, how they colonize on a slide. So they put this microscope over the slide, which was electronic microscope, and it was connected to the computer screen. So I could see the movements of these red blood cells. It formed colonies. And suppose if you had a sickle cell anemia, it will form a particular type of colony. If you had a gout, it will form another type of colony. If you had cancer, it will form another colony. If you had asthmatic condition, because these RBCs behave differently under different disease states. Okay. Then my curiosity arose and I asked that person, how would WBC behave? So he showed me WBC, because it was already 10-15 minutes into this watching, or maybe even more. They became standstill. They were not moving on the slide. Right? So I said, they are not moving, they are just static at the moment. I said, why don't you bring the phone, turn on your phone and keep it near the slide. You know, they woke up from their static, sleepy state. They started moving frantically. Now, what conveyed this message to these white blood cells to wake up? The danger they perceived. Right? Once they felt threatened, they started moving to capture the danger. Because WBC's job is to capture the danger and get it out of the system. So I noticed that they woke up from nowhere. Suppose this danger continues and they're not able to pick that physical danger they usually pick. This is radiation. How are they going to pick the radiation and move it out of the system? So they will order more and more WBCs to be manufactured. And one day you'll get leukemia. Leukemia is where there is uncontrolled WBC proliferation. See? And many diseases like that. See, one of my friend, he uses his earphones. He had the phone in his pocket, and since he was an NRI, they have a long meeting, 2 hours long meeting, and he walks around this ashram with phone in his pocket. You know what happened after our long conversation? On his thigh, he had a red patch, iPhone patch like this, rectangle one, see? I say, you still don't want to abandon this phone? Why do you want to keep it on your body? Also, keep a bag. Put the phone in the bag and have the headphone. Doesn't matter that. At least reduce to some extent. Use it only when you must. Otherwise, why are you playing around with it?
It is a danger.
Very dangerous. And especially people who keep phones, directly attached to the body here or to the heart. It is going to affect your heart for sure. And more cases of reproductive aberrations, reproductive diseases are there today. More and more men with lesser and lesser sperm or weaker sperms is the direct results. One is laptop. You keep it on your lap. Those radiations affects your testicles. Similarly, women also. So it has a far-reaching impact on our health. Use it, of course, but use it wisely. So this mechanization is not bad, as long as you know when to use it and when not to use it.